Hello friends. So what we have today here in this session is data conversion transformation, uh, and apart from that we'll be also learning about the Excel source that we have in data flow task. So Excel, by which I mean your Excel source, or when you're trying to export and import data from to and from Excel source, things are not pretty simple, because first thing, Excel cannot be treated as one of the database repositories in a standard way. I mean, it doesn't gel well with any of the RDBMS, Oracle or SQL Server tables that you may. So if you have data in Excel source, or you are trying to export data to Excel destination, you are bound to be running into some issues when you are trying to develop a SSIS package for such ETL transformations and loads. So we'll be trying to take a closer look to that, and also we will be getting to know data conversion transformation. I chose the Excel example for data conversion because it also brings out the most important and the widely used way of data conversion, because by default your SSIS works for a unicoded data type, and so we'll be taking a closer look as to how are we going to see the data conversion take place, and as well as how the data can be exported into an Excel file. So what I have here is a couple of things. Let's just quickly walk through the things that I have here. We have two Excel files. The first one is a data load XLS, which is in XLS format, I mean 2003 worksheet format, and the other one is the most recent one, I mean XLSX, which is the 2007 or the latest Office version. So these are the two that we have, and these are actually simple empty Excel files. uh, these are just empty Excel files, both of them. So, and apart from that, what we have here is a table actually, which has three columns. It's a fictitious employee table which has employee ID, employee name, and department. To put a little stress on the two columns, employee name and employee and department are of varchar types. If you see, that is, they are of non-unicoded data type, and EID is, or employee ID is of an INT type. So we have some records as well. Uh, we have some 4 records into this table, and we'll perform an export of data from this table into an Excel destination, if you will. Now, next thing, let's move on to our bids. This is, here I have created a project, Excel project, which is nothing but an empty project as of now. Let's just try to start working on this. So I pull out the data flow task, and the next thing I have is, let me bring out an OLEDB source and create a mapping with the dev database and map it to our employee table. So we have these columns, right? So the next thing I would like to show is, first thing, let me just try and bring out an important thing is Excel destination, right? I create an Excel destination and map it directly. Let me just browse it to my C drive and my 2003 worksheet. Okay. This would create a, if I press the new, it will create a new worksheet. So let me just create Excel destination and say okay. So this will create Excel destination dollar. It's actually a worksheet, a new worksheet that has that will be added to your existing, and this is the mapping of the columns. Right now, I have done this purposely. The thing that I want to bring out here is your Excel destination, if you will, is already showing an error. If you hover your mouse on the destination, it's saying as uh, the column ename cannot convert between Unicode and non-Unicode string data types. See, the important thing here is the OLEDB data source, and the source table that we are pulling out is having data of non-Unicode type, and as I have already told you, the thing is SSIS works by default in a unicoded fashion. So basically, and your Excel it needs the data to be in unicoded fashion, unicoded type, and with which it can export the data. So if you are trying to simply export the data in this way, the package will fail. The package will fail. So basically, here you need a data conversion to happen. So let's just delete the constraint and pull out our data transformation. I would pull out data conversion here. I wanted to show data conversion transformation through this example, as this is one of the most important and most widely used way in which data conversion is almost mandatory, and this is one of the most common example that you would come across where you would need data conversion to happen. So okay, next what we do is we try and edit. So you would select all the columns for which you need to convert data. So this would be your input column, and this is the output alias. So this is int, so this is perfect for me. The next would be of Unicode, so you have to use Unicode data type. So you would convert your data, right? So if you see here, this is the input column that you have, and you are creating an output column with the name of copy of EID. That's the name, and you are giving the data type from the drop down, and specifically you are creating a unicoded data type as an output. If you see here, so we are generating a unicoded data type out of a non-unicoded, so there is a data conversion happening. So that's your data conversion task, and now we are going to map this to your Excel destination and see if that works for us or not. Let's create a new worksheet here. Let me call that as output. And let's just keep the 3 columns that we have, and let me edit the column names. Okay, so this would create a new worksheet for you. Let's map it to output dollar, and let's create the mapping. So if you see here, the mapping is incorrect. You have to map it with the data, converted data type column. So these are the names of the converted data type column. If you have been carefully looking at, this was the alias that we had put there. So this is your conversion now, and now let's run the package. It is going to fail, and I'll tell you in a moment why. So yeah, if you see, the package has failed. The reason is pretty simple. SSIS doesn't provide Excel transformations. For Excel doesn't work in a 64-bit environment. So still, the driver for 64-bit is not available while using Excel. So you have to turn the property. Let me just right click on the project, go to the properties, and in the debugging mode just turn off your 64-bit runtime. You have to use 32-bit for your Excel transformation to occur. Now if I run this package, it should work. Perfect. Now let's just open and see our data load Excel file has the output sheet loaded the data for us. Perfect. If you see, it has loaded the 3 columns that you have, I mean the table that data from the table of employee. The first column is the first record set is the column name, and the rest of them are the records. So that was the data loading and the data conversion part. Apart from that, the thing that I want to show is, if you are going to work with XLSX file, I mean which is the latest worksheet file, how would you do it? I would just quickly show it. Still people are not, a lot of people do not work with, so I'll just quickly show how to do that. Let me just delete this and pull out OLEDB destination, and next thing you would do is edit and create one new. This is the important part. You are creating a new connection manager. While creating, if you have installed Microsoft Office, the latest version of the Microsoft Office on your integration services, on which your integration services is running on the system, you would be, while you drop down native OLEDB, you will find a provider as Microsoft Office 12.0 Access Database Engine. So this is the provider with which you will be able to load or work with the data which is which is into an Excel of a latest version of the Excel, that is 2010 or of the extension XLSX. So you need this. So remember that if you have installed Microsoft Office on the latest on your system, latest version, you would be able to work with this. So next thing, do OK, and now you will map it to. Now next thing you would do is just say extended properties Excel 12.0. So that's about it. If you just do these things, you should be you would be creating a connection, and based upon which you can load data. But still, I mean, most of the times people do not have or don't use this form of Excel, the latest version of XLSX. Most widely what I have come across, still we have the prior XLS files only on which we are trying to work. So that was it, friends. So what we have learned here, let me just reiterate, there are a couple of things that we have learned. First, we have seen the data conversion transformation. Second, we have seen how to export data from Excel source to an Excel destination. And we have remember that SSIS treats the data type, default data type for SSIS is of unicoded type. So if you are trying to pull out data remember to have a data conversion, that as we have seen in Excel, that there has to be a data conversion from a non-Unicode to a Unicoded coded type of data only when your data was exported to your destination, Excel destination. And another thing that we have seen is your Excel doesn't support the 64-bit driver. So if you are developing an SSIS package which is actually working on Excel's, you have to use the 32-bit runtime. And while the fourth and the last point is if you are working with the latest version of Excel, it's kind of a little different than the prior versions. So the way I have shown you is how you would be configuring your Excel while working with your latest version of Excel files. So those were the things that I wanted to show. Hope it will be really helpful and useful to you. Thank you so much.